Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Respected speakers, industry partners, academicians, ladies and gentlemen, we are honored by your presence today as we gather to strengthen the collaborations between the academia and industry in driving innovation and investment forward. Before we begin, kindly allow me to share a few housekeeping reminders. So please ensure your mobile phone are switched to silent modes or vibration. Emergency exit are located on the both side, okay, right hand, left hand, okay. In case of emergency, please follow the instruction from the community members. And restroom are available outside of this hall, and kindly remain seated throughout sessions unless necessary to ensure minimal disruption. We truly appreciate your cooperation in making this event smooth and enjoyable for everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing the arrival of the VIPs for this program. To begin our program, may I invite all of you to kindly rise for the Bangsa Johor anthem, followed by Negaraku, the national anthem. Please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam maju Johor, salam Malaysia Madani. A very good morning and a warm welcome we bid to all. My name is Dr. Nana and I am very honored to be your master of ceremony today. First, allow me to extend the warmest welcome to Ms. Adrina Riza Alwi, Senior Director, Delivery Management Unit, Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, MITI, Professor Dr. Syamsul Bahri bin Muhammad Tamrin, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Industry and Community Engagement, University Putra, Malaysia, Professor Technologist Dr. Rabiah binti Ahmad, Fellow of the Academy of Sciences cum Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation, University Tun Hussein on Malaysia, UTHM, Yang Mulia Raja Taufik Azad bin Ahmad Suhaimi, Head of Sector and Enabler Development, Iskandar Regional Development Authority, IRDA, Professor Dr. Zahril Adha bin Zakaria, Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation, University Technical Malaysia Melaka, UTHM, Professor Dr. Wan Ahmad Amirzal bin Wan Ismail, Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation, University Malaysia Kelantan, UMK, Associate Professor in Senior Technologist Dr. Dalila binti Mat Said, Chair Resource Sustainability Research Alliance, Official Representative of the Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation, University Technology Malaysia, UTM, Associate Professor Dr. Sudesh Anak Lelaki Prabakaran, Deputy Director Training and Consultancy, University Putra Malaysia UPM, Mr. Raymond Teo Juhan, Senior Assistant Director, Industrial Relations Division, Department of Higher Education, industry partners, academicians, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Industry, University Research and Innovation Investment Dialogue 2026 Series 3. Well, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and participants, URIIS 2026 taking place in 21st until 23rd of September 2026 in Kuala Lumpur aims to position Malaysia as Asia's leading co-creation and investment hub by accelerating the commercializations of university R&D. It bridges 20 plus public universities with industry to boost high-value research investment, fostering economic growth and turning knowledge into return of investment. And the key focus area included commercialization and investment, Asian Innovation Hub, strategic partnership, targeted technology sector, and policy support and growth. Pre-event Series 3 marks the third official Industry University Innovation and Investment Dialogue under URIIS 2026, organized by the Ministry of Higher Education MOHE through the Departments of Higher Education JPT in collaborations with UTHM and UTM, and held in a strategic partnership with Iskandar Regional Development Authority IRDA and its industry ecosystem. The objective of this dialogue is to share industry problem statements from the industries interested in promoting joint research and development collaborations between the governments and university. This session aims to identify the collaborations process and potential funding avenues for collaborative projects, discuss gaps in investments, academic readiness and technical readiness level, identify key industry-university collaboration challenges and develop policy-oriented investment resolutions for university research and innovation, and all the outputs from this session will directly inform national synthesis and policy recommendation. We hope everyone makes the most of today's sessions to learn, to connect, and to be inspired. Thank you for being parts of URIIS 2026 Series 3. Let's make this a memorable, fruitful, and transformative event for all. So ladies and gentlemen, it is now my great honor to invite our distinguished speaker for the opening and launching remarks. Please welcome Ms. Adrina Riza Alwi, Senior Director, Delivery Management Unit, Minister of Investment, Trade and Industry. With the utmost respect, I invite Ms. Adrina to deliver her address.
Assalamualaikum. Very good morning. It's good to sing back the Bangsa Johor punya lagu after 40 years. I think they changed the tempo a little bit. Anyways, good morning everyone. Professor Dr. Samsul Bahri, Deputy Vice Chancellor UPM, Professor Dr. TS Dr. Rabia, Deputy VC UTHM, Yang Mulia Raja Taufik, Head Sector and Enabler Development IRDA, Professor Dr. Zahril Ada Zakaria, Deputy VC University Technical Malaysia. I think there's a lot of dignitaries over here and esteemed members of academia, distinguished industry leaders, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi kepada semua. Pertama sekali, saya ingin merakamkan setinggi-tinggi perhargaan dan ucapan terima kasih kepada pihak URIIS, khususnya IRDA, UTHM, UPM, UTM di atas jemputan kepada MITI untuk turut serta dalam program pada pagi ini. Program Pre-Event University Research and Innovation Investment Summit merupakan satu langkah strategik dan mencerminkan komitmen bersama antara pihak kerajaan, akademia serta industri untuk memperkukuh ekosistem Malaysia serta memastikan usaha penyelidikan dan pembangunan dapat diterjemahkan kepada hasil ekonomi sebenar yang lebih mampan. Ladies and gentlemen, this event comes at the critical juncture as Malaysia advances the implementation of the new Industrial Master Plan 2030, which serves as the nation's strategic framework to transform the manufacturing sector into a more resilient, inclusive, sustainable and technology advanced sector. The NIMP 2030 is designed to not only strengthen our industrial base, but also to position Malaysia more competitively in an increasingly complex and technology-driven global landscape. At the heart of NIMP 2030 are 4 key missions that guide our industrial transformation journey. The first mission focuses on advancing economic complexity to move Malaysian industries into higher value-added activities and reduce reliance on low-value production. The second mission emphasizes the acceleration of technology adoption and digitalization, particularly through the integration of Industry 4.0 technologies that will enhance productivity and efficiency. The third mission underscores Malaysia's commitment towards achieving net zero emissions and promoting sustainable industrial practices, ensuring that our growth remains environmentally responsible. Finally, the fourth mission centers on strengthening economic security and inclusivity, with a strong emphasis on supply chain resiliency, balanced regional development, and ensuring that no region or segment of society is left behind. In terms of our key targets, the NIP sets out clear ambitions to strengthen Malaysia's economic fundamentals by improving 3 main macroeconomic indicators. Firstly, NIP aims to increase the manufacturing sector's value added to 587.5 billion, reflecting our shift towards high value and more complex economic activities. Secondly, it seeks to expand employment opportunities within the sector to 3.3 million jobs, ensuring that industrial growth continues to generate meaningful and quality employment for Malaysians. Thirdly, NIP aspires to raise the median salary, which is our most important and meaningful indicator here, to increase the median salary in the manufacturing sector to 4,510 ringgit, signaling our commitment to creating better paying jobs that are aligned with higher productivity, advanced skills, and technology-driven industries. Taken together, these targets reflect our broad aspiration under NIMP, which goes beyond pursuing economic growth alone. Instead, the ambitious targets underscore our commitment to ensuring that Malaysia's growth is inclusive, sustainable, and of high quality, where the benefits of development are widely shared across society. We are responsible to take care of the environment and drive our manufacturing sector to increase productivity and also improving innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, a central strategy of Mission 1 of NIMP is the strengthening of our research, development, commercialization and innovation ecosystem, or RDCI. I think that's the main purpose of our session here today as well. So as Malaysia and NIMP aspire to move into higher value-added and technology-driven industries, it is no longer sufficient to focus solely on production capabilities. Instead, we must ensure that innovation becomes a core driver of industrial growth and competitiveness. In this regard, under Action Plan 1.4 of Mission 1, we are placing strong emphasis on building a more integrated, industry-relevant, and outcome-oriented RDCI ecosystem. The focus is on closing the persistent gap between research outputs and their successful application in the market, which has long limited the full potential of our R&D investments. This involves strengthening collaboration between higher education institutions, research agencies, and industry players, so that research is more demand-driven and aligned with real industry needs. At the same time, greater attention is being given to improving commercialization pathways, enhancing technology transfer capabilities, and providing the necessary support mechanisms for innovation to move from lab scale to the marketplace. Ultimately, these efforts are aimed at ensuring that research and innovation do not remain theoretical, but are translated into practical solutions, new products, and high-impact economic activities that will drive Malaysia's industrial transformation under NIP 2030. While Malaysia has made considerable investments in R&D, particularly within universities and public research institutions, we recognize that there remains a significant challenge in translating these research outcomes into commercially viable products and services, as too often valuable research remains within academic institutions and does not progress to the stage of commercialization. As a result, many innovations that have strong potential to contribute meaningfully to economic growth, strengthen industrial competitiveness, and improve societal well-being are not fully realized or utilized. Valuable research outcomes often remain at the prototype or academic publication stage without progressing into scalable solutions or market-ready products. This limits your ability to generate economic impact, support our industry transformation, address real-world challenges, reduce import dependence on critical technologies, and ultimately reduce the overall return on investment in R&D. As such, NIP 2030 seeks to address this issue by promoting a more demand-driven approach to research, where industry needs to play a central role in shaping research priorities, while also strengthening collaboration between academia and industry to drive a more effective and impactful RDCI ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're serious about strengthening our capacity for innovation, the current model must change. We need to move towards a deeply integrated collaboration model in which universities and industry co-create solutions from the outset. This means involving industry players in defining research problems, co-investing in R&D activities, and working together through the entire innovation value chain, from ideation and development to testing, scaling, and commercialization. In this regard, the development of the Johor-Singapore Special Economic Zone, or JSSEZ, presents a unique and timely opportunity to operationalize this model. JSSEZ should not only function as an investment destination, but also as a living ecosystem for collaboration between higher education, institutions, and industry. With Johor hosting a growing number of universities and technical institutions, alongside a very strong base for manufacturing and services industry, there's a significant potential to create cluster-based innovation partnerships within the zone. Research and innovation must therefore be positioned as a core pillar in the development of JSSEZ, rather than as a supporting element. This means that innovation should not be treated as an afterthought or as an add-on to industry development, but instead be embedded from the very beginning in the planning, design, and execution of the ecosystem. Companies operating within the JSSEZ can work closely with nearby universities to develop new technologies, improve industrial processes, and build specialized talent pipelines, while universities can better align your research priorities with industry needs to ensure that the outputs are relevant, practical, and ready for commercialization. By embedding this close collaboration between universities and industry within the JSSEZ ecosystem, it will create a virtuous cycle where industry demand shapes research, research then leads to innovation, and innovation in turn strengthens industry competitiveness and supports long-term economic growth. It is also important to note that key sectors identified under the JSSEZ, including food, bio, aerospace, E&E, and chemicals, are closely aligned with the sectors outlined under NIP. This strong alignment ensures that JSSEZ development is aligned with NIP aspirations, particularly for the manufacturing sector, which in turn will help drive Malaysia's national industrial transformation, particularly in strengthening high-value, technology-driven, and innovation-led growth. It also enables a more coordinated approach in attracting quality investments, fostering research collaboration, and developing industry-relevant talent, thereby reinforcing Malaysia's position in global value chains and supporting long-term sustainable economic development. Now, let me go into financing and funding. You all acknowledge that access to financing is crucial in enabling innovation to thrive. Recognizing this, NIMP has introduced a new financing instrument called the NIMP Strategic Co-Investment Fund, or in short COSIF, launched in February 2025. COSIF is designed to catalyze high-impact investments through a co-investment model between the government and the private sector. By sharing investment risks and aligning public and private interests, this approach helps to mobilize larger pools of capital while also de-risking investments in emerging and innovation-driven sectors that may otherwise face financing constraints. In this arrangement, the Securities Commission has been appointed as the administrator of COSIF, ensuring that the fund is governed in a structured, transparent, and effective manner. This includes overseeing the implementation process, facilitating investment decisions in line with the fund's objective, and ensuring that COSIF delivers its intended impact in supporting high strategic and high growth industries. For companies within JSSZ, particularly those involved in technology-intensive activities, COSIF provides an important avenue to scale up innovations, commercialize research outcomes, and expand into higher value-added segments. With this in mind, MITI has held discussions with IRDA and also the IMFCJ, where all parties have agreed to collaborate closely to position COSIF as the key financing instrument within the JSSZ. This cooperation aims to ensure that companies operating in JSSZ, particularly those involved in innovation-driven and high-impact projects that fall within the NIMP sector coverage, can have access to funding options. It also ensures that these companies are given priority consideration for COSIF application to support their efforts to scale up. It is our aspiration that JSSZ will not only serve as a hub for investment, but also evolve into a dynamic test bed for innovation, where new technologies, business models, and solutions can be developed, piloted, and scaled effectively. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I would like to reiterate that the success of Malaysia's industrial transformation under NIMP 2030 will depend on how effectively we are able to strengthen collaboration between our higher education institutions and industry players, particularly within the strategic ecosystem such as the JSSZ. This initiative presents a unique opportunity for us to demonstrate how such collaboration can be translated into real economic impact. And I'm confident that the strong commitment of all stakeholders present today, especially IRDA, UTHM, UPM, UTM, and many of the industry players here as well, we are all moving into the right direction. With that, and with great pleasure, dengan lafaz Bismillah, I hereby declare the pre-event University Research and Innovation Investment Summit, URIIS Southern Region, officially open. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Adrinas, for those informative and insightful remarks. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's together focus on the screen to witness the gimmick of the opening and launching of the Industry University Research and Innovation Investment Dialog 2026 Series 3. Play the video.
Visi yang bermula dengan komitmen nasional. Sejak pelancarannya pada November 2025, URIIS 2026 telah menetapkan standard baharu bagi ekosistem inovasi Malaysia. Kami tidak menunggu sehingga hari acara. Dari dialog strategik di Pulau Pinang dan MIDA yang merapatkan jurang industri bersama universiti hingga ke siri jelajah zon utama, momentum ini sedang rancak berkembang. Inilah ruang di mana idea akademik yang divalidasi bertemu dengan keperluan pasaran sebenar. Sertai siri jelajah kami yang akan datang di seluruh negara dan persiapkan diri anda untuk kemuncak inovasi. Jadilah sebahagian daripada sejarah. Dari peringkat pra-acara hingga ke pentas utama, mari kita bina masa depan bersama. URIIS 2026, Bridging Frontiers, Empowering Futures.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a big applause to URIIS 2026. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to proceed with the introductions of the University Research and Innovation Investment Summit URIIS 2026. So now, please give your attention to the presenter, Associate Professor Dr. Sudesh Anak Lelaki Prabhakaran, Deputy Director Training and Consultancy from UPM. Please welcome Dr. Sudesh.
A very good morning to all the dignitaries, the friends of industry, and also the academia. Thank you very much for being here this morning. It is a great privilege for us to introduce URIIS 2026 to you. Just for your information, URIIS is actually a summit where we want. Normally, you will not find industry, research, and investment together. This is where we have put all these things together to ensure that we have a practical and a well-established research for the industry. Right. So this is what URIIS is about. I would like to. Can we have the next slide, please? Yeah. Just for your information, URIIS is a long-mooted idea. It started 2 years ago, and then it came up into picture in 2025, where in November 2025 we had a soft launch of URIIS. This soft launch was done by our Minister of Higher Education, and then the Minister of Higher Education felt that this is a very important program and it should be in a big scale. So with the help of the Bahagian Hubungan Industry of Higher Education, we decided that this program will be a national program. So in 2026, September 21st to 23rd, this will be a big program. I'm starting off with the invitation. So I would like to invite everyone here to the program. And participate. Then I'll explain to you how the program works, right? So as I said, there was a soft launch in 2025 November, right? Next one, please. So what is this URIIS? URIIS is actually a bridge between the industry and the community. Industry and the academia, right? Most of the time, industries work silo. Academia, we work in silo. And very weirdly, all the public university works in silo also. So we do not have the, working togetherness. However, what happens here is we are all brought together with this thing, right? So 20 universities get together, 20 public universities. Before I continue, I would also like to love to thank UTHM and UTM for actually putting up this wonderful show today. They put a lot of effort to this. Inviting industries and the university researchers to come in here. I hope it's a good networking process today. So this bridge that I was talking about is where we bring in industry needs, industries wants to the academia. Most of the time we only do research based on what we want to do, right? We will say this is my niche, I will just do this research, right? So we have changed that. We want to see what actually the industry wants, and if the industry say actually this is my problem, I don't have anybody to solve these things, right? So then that is why we decided to put them together. That's number one. Number two is that industry do not know what the university have, right? We have a lot of products, we have a lot of commercialization product waiting to be commercialized. We have product which are research done, research way in advance, which the industry feel when they come to us, they go like, oh, you guys have this, right? So this is one of the biggest things that we have identified, and I think that is one big reason why we have URIIS 2026. Next one, please. So what we have done is that the universities decided that they will choose a niche. Now I just want to highlight a thing here is that even though there is this 12 niche, it doesn't mean that the university don't do everything else. They do everything, but this is the niche the university have chose. So they said that these are the few niche areas that we will be choosing to focus, to showcase our strength, right? So there's 12 niche areas here. If you look at it, it starts from what do you call this, semiconductor up to almost, let's see, there is nanotech, there is digital economy, there is agtech, sustainable energy, and biotech, right? Not forgetting, we have halal and also educational technology, TVET, smart cities, right? DefTech, which is defense technology and so on. So there's 12 different niche areas here. There are universities, 20 different public universities which are involved here. We are slowly bringing in the private universities to also show their strength, because right now the private universities are also into research and development, right? So these things to show you that we have chose our niche areas, which means during URIIS 2026, these are the niche areas that the university will focus, will showcase their, what do you call that, results. So what do you get from URIIS? Next one. We have two types of, what do you call this, value. We have the long-term value and the short-term value, right? For the long-term, I'll go with the short-term value first. One of the first thing that we want to do is, we want to ensure that we have products which are TRL ready, right? And we also have products which have not reached TRL, which we will, we would like to love to work with the industry to see whether the industry would like to take this product and reach the TRL 8 and 9, right? Because these are still at the research level. Sometimes, grants which is given to them is not sufficient. So the industry can say, okay, listen, I like the product, I want to have this product, I will give you the balance, let's do until it's TRL 9, 10, or whatsoever it is, right? The second thing is that we want industries to tell us their targeted problem. This is my problem. I'll give you a small example. Let's say I'm company A, I'm selling dates, right? And then I tell you that, listen, I have shelf life problems. It doesn't last long. Can one of these people from the food tech help us to improve our shelf life? Make it bigger, make it longer, for example. So that is a targeted problem, right? So we would get the people who are in one of the niche areas to help you do these things, right? So we have programs like that. We also look at access to decision makers, especially CEOs, policy makers, which you can talk, you can discuss. You can ensure that your needs, right, is brought into a roundtable discussion with the Prime Minister, with the Minister of Finance, right, and also the ministries, right. So what we will do is in one component, which I'll share you later, we'll cover those things, right. So your ideas, your needs, right. We also want to see, to unlock the financial incentive. See, normally what we do is there is two part of the coin here. Industries have their research money, their consultancy grants or whatsoever. Industry also have their own. Academia also has their own. So we can share those things and see how we can put it into what you call a good collaboration, right? And a proper ecosystem. This is what we want to build. At the end of the day, when URIIS 2026 is over, it is not an ending program. It is a 3 years once program. Every 3 years, we are going to run this program. Okay, but what is this 3 years? The first year when after we run the program, the next 2 years is hand-holding. We will go and see what's happening, who is doing what, right, and so on. So in November, December, after the program is over, we'll actually look at how good these industries have and academia has actually participated. And then, until we reach to the next organizers, right, we would actually pass the baton on because currently I think the main organizer is UPM. The what do you call that? The person who owns it is BHI, which is the Bahagian Hubungan Industry, right? So what we will do is we will handhold until the next one comes, and we make sure that there is a proper ROI of return. All right? Okay. The long-term one, if you look at it, is the bigger picture. We want to shape national policies, especially from industry and academia putting together. Now, most of the time, it is an individual work. I'm an industry person. I only know a one person in the what do you call that, academia, and I work only with that one person. But this one, you work with the whole university, right? So second thing is to get a proper R&D direction. I'm not sure whether all of us are aware, but the one thing that is very big today is something called industry on campus, right? A lot of universities are looking at people to put in an industry of campus. I'll give a small little example of UPM that I know. We have an industry in campus called Farm Fresh. I'm very sure you've heard of Farm Fresh before, right? They've invested in the university. We have given them land. We have given them our students to, train. They have research from us, right? They allocate grants for this research, right? But what do they get? They get space. They have a large space. They have the cows, animals, right? They, what do you call that? Get the students. They get vets because we have veterinary programs, so they get the vets to help them. So you see, this is how the industry in campus work. So this is another thing that we are looking for, especially for industry and universities to work together. Okay, next one, please. Next one. So this is a tentative program. So we have 4 phases, as I told you. Phase 1 is about the dialogue and discovery. So we are still in phase 1. So this is the third pre-event that we are having. We have already covered Penang and Kuala Lumpur. And this is the third one. The next one is in Negeri Sembilan. So we will be doing it in USIM. USIM is all out ready to do the next one. Yeah, in Haman, right? Doctor. Okay, anyway, then we have the second phase. Second phase is to look at the readiness, right? Once we collect all this information, this data, we'll put it up together. We want to present it to the, people who are interested, to the ministers, to the deputy prime minister, and all these people. Then comes the third one, which is the strategic alignment. Now, this is to get the high level top down, which means the prime minister sits down, or the minister of finance too sits down, decides that this should be a policy, and these are the policies that we need to make. So for that, I request from you humbly today, please give your honest opinions, honest discussion, so that we can take these things and get it to the Prime Minister. Next one is the climax, which is the Area 4, which is the summit itself, which happens on 21st to 23rd of September. And the last phase, as I told you, this is not going to be a program which we have a program, then it's done. This is going to be a program, and after the program is done, we would actually have an hand-holding session, or we will check back the ROI, where it is the post-URIIS program, right? So that will happen for the next 2 years to see what are the returns, and then the third year we once again would put in URIIS to the action. Then just to share you the pre-events, next one. We have 4, as I told you, we have 5 pre-events which is going on. We have already done 3 till today. Thank you once again to UTHM and UTM for doing this with the help of IRDA. The next one would be in Negeri Sembilan, and after that Borneo. Right? So these are the 5 pre-events that will be happening. Next one, please. In pre-event 5, right? In pre-event 5, we will be having the pitch readiness. We are bringing in a company from Japan called Live a Nest to teach the academicians how to actually pitch from the industry, right? So there is a pitching session will be which will be going on, especially to translate deep tech kind of research. We also have a pitching session with QAP. QAP is the pension scheme of Malaysia, right? And of course, we have pre-event 7. Now, pre-event 7 will be happening in 18th of May, right? Pre-event 7 is 18th of May. This is between MPCA and the university leaders, right? Especially all those TTTOs and TNCPIs and VCs, right? This will be happening in UPM itself on the 18th of May, right? Next one, please. And this is before the final showdown. We will be having a roundtable discussion, as I told you earlier, with the Prime Minister, Minister of Finance 2, and the ministers, which will be captained by the key ministries, by the universities, vice chancellors, leaders. We would also read some of the industry players, some of the big industry players to come in to be support to these things. The main idea is to make sure that there is an investment framework, especially for facilitating certain talent framework and also research frameworks, right? Then comes the big day, the first of, next one. That's the first day of 21st of September, 2026. We would have a registration happening on 21st September. Once again, I'm inviting you all for this event. What is going to happen here is that once we have this, what we will do is we'll have a workshop. We have the Cradle Fund, Funding and Innovation, where there is a session which will be done to ensure that people understand the funding insights. There is a talent boot camp. There is also a seminar from MPC, right? And of course, we have the Agro-Olympic pitching. Second day, next one. We have day 2. Now, day 2 is there is 2 days of main program. If you look at it, what we are doing is we have 2 opening sessions. One with the Prime Minister, and the second one is with the YBM of higher education. We have 13 parallel thematic tracks. I'm very sure you'll be asking why. So you said 12. How is that 13? Okay. I also told you that not all universities put up their niche. They only put certain niche that they have chosen. But this 13 thematic tracks actually explain how you can actually prioritize and say that my niche is not here, but I want to discuss with somebody somewhere. Then they actually can do on the 13th track. Not forgetting pitching areas. This is for the vice chancellors and deputy vice chancellors and the funding agencies for them to pitch what the university's strengths are. But just to give you some of the strengths of the universities, maybe later on some of the university will actually let you know their strengths. However, these 20 universities have strengths which are very focused, right? For example, like if you take UPM, it's about AgTech, for example. We are very strong in AgTech, right? We are very strong in halal, right? But if you take maybe USM, for example, semiconductors, right? And they also are strong in their healthcare. So if you see every one of them, they have their strength, right? And the next one, if you see, is an MNC Innovation Challenge. This is actually how people want to solve their, real problem, industry's real problem. So you have a problem. We have 12 rooms that we have been allocating it to Collexus. Collexus will run this program where they have these industries who have problems or they want to give grants for research to ensure that they, not necessarily problems, new products, and all those kind of stuff can come in, giving grants, choose your researchers, right? You can imagine the number of researchers that will be there that you can choose, and you said, okay, I want this person to do this research for me, and this is what my problem is, and I will give you this much of money, something like that, right? So we have, of course, as I always like to say, this is the only reason I am going to the URIIS, because it's a dinner there. So, I'm the eating kind of person, so I'll end up at the gala dinner. right? So I will see you in the gala dinner. The next one we have is also side events. Okay, side events are very important in this whole URIIS system. If you look at it, I only want to highlight one, which is the business to business and business to university, right? We have a space where you can actually sit down, discuss with the university how you can do commercialization together, how you can do research together, how you can actually do consultation together. What is not here that you don't see is that when you do consultation, you do research and whatsoever with the public university, you get a double tax exemption, right? You don't get it with a normal consultant that you go out and consult with, right? So that's an advantage that you can actually gain, right? Not forgetting, we are also looking at the innovators, how they can innovate, and also looking at some other strategic fund which is being done. The one that I want to highlight is that you can also go to our career and talent booth, right? You might need interns, you might need staffs and whatnot. So 20 universities, you will find almost 200 over students being there in the talent boot camp. Not forgetting again, Collexus is having a hackathon, which is pitching and award giving, right? Next one, please. These are the targeted audience. Oh, next one. Next one. Okay, these are the targeted audience that we have in, that we are actually expecting. We have international investors that we are looking for. And we have the multinational companies. We have startup and innovators. We have government agencies and Malaysian research and university startups. Just for your information, most of the public university here have their own startups. Right, it ranges up to 10 to 20 to 30 of them, right? So there are quite a number of startups that we have. So who are we expecting? This is the expectation. Next one, please. We are having 55 over speakers. We have almost 80 over exhibitors, and of course we are looking at 1,000 paid attendees. For those industry players, if you would like to attend, don't worry, this is HRD Corp claimable. That means you can actually claim from HRD Corp for every single person that you send, up to 9 people, right? Next one. So what are we looking for? This is the main things that we are looking for. If you are interested, especially the industry players, if you're interested to have an industry pavilion, please reach out to us. We have booths that you can put up your products. And you can actually share with the exhibition is open to public, so we let everyone come into the exhibition. So you will have a lot of people in the exhibition, so you can actually promote your products. You can share your products with the researchers which is there to see what kind of ideas that they can get. Second thing is the business and matching, which is a deal pipeline where you can speak to those people who you feel you can work together with. Right. We also request, a humble request, to promote URIIS 2026 to all your partners. Right. This is the event that will be going on 21st to 23rd September 2026. Also, do promote this program to the pre-events, especially the next one is in USIM Negeri Sembilan, right, on the 12th of May. Right. Okay. The next thing that we are looking for is the side events. We really wish that you can network, meet friends, because to me it's very simple. URIIS is also a big networking platform. The networking for industries to know the academia, and for the academia to know the industries. So it is a very huge platform. That is the biggest ROI that we can actually get during the URIIS event. And of course the last one is the strategic sponsorship. If you feel that you can give us strategic sponsorship in any way, we would be welcoming it, especially maybe you want your t-shirts, lanyards and all those bags and so on, right? So I will just summarize at the end of the day the objective of our pre-event for today. Can I have it? Okay. the main idea why we're having this pre-event is that we want to know what is actually the gap between that bridge between the industry and the academia. So this is the biggest question that we have today. We would hope to get certain answers of why the collaboration is not up to the high end or whatsoever. The second part is to see how we can collaborate, what are the processes that we need to, iron out, because I think there are many processes which is a problem. Can give you a small little example. Industry says, my research in IT, I'm an IT field, I need research, my research is 2 months. Academia say, no, my research is 1 year. Or my research is 5-year research. Industry said, I don't need you. So this is the things that we are looking for. Please don't copy what I said. I'm very sure that you have your own ideas, right? So please share the real stuff, why industries and universities cannot work together. And also the gap of investment. I think finance, earlier I think our guest of honor did talk about the financial part of it. I know most of us have financial difficulties, right? But let's see how we can work that together. Rather than working in silos, we can work together and see how we can achieve that financial freedom, right? To do your research, to invest, and so on, right? Because maybe put it this way, I have the money, I don't have the land. Lands are expensive. Universities have land. Can I put in my, investment here in UTHM, for example, right? Then UTHM I say, okay, we have this land, we can give this to you, it's suitable for these things. Can you take my students as your interns? Can they work here? Can they learn from you, manufacturing, for example? So that's how we can come up with financial freedom. Working alone never gives you financial freedom, right? Okay, and of course the last one is to identify the key industry collaborations that we can work out for future. So that wraps up whatever that I need to say. Can we have the next one? Once again, I would like to thank Prof. Samso for giving me the opportunity. Next one, please. To give me the opportunity to know more, talk about URIIS. And if you need more information, all right, you can scan the green color QR code there. It takes you straight to our website to give you more information. So thank you so much for being here once again. Thank you UTHM, thank you UTM for organizing a great event. Once again, thank you BHI, Mr. Raymond, for always helping, participating, and coming. And thank you once again.
Thank you to Associate Professor Dr. Sujesh for the outstanding presentations. Ladies and gentlemen, next we will explore national directions and policy alignment through a session on the new Industrial Master Plan 2030 NIMP 2030 and Research, Development, Commercializations and Innovation RDCI by Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry MITI. So please welcome again Ms. Adrina Reza Alwi, the Senior Director Delivery Management Unit, to deliver the address.
Sorry, boleh alih ni tak? Usually when tadi tu official kan, so when I speak on NIMP, I have to be like moving around because I have slides. So then boleh nampak lah, boleh? Okay, before I begin, siapa pernah dengar, what do you know about NIMP? And I think there are a lot of industry players here. So my first question would be, industry players siapa in the manufacturing sector? Hands up. Okay, pernah dengar NIMP? Have you heard about NIMP? New Industrial Master Plan, funding opportunities, research areas. And then for those academicians, universiti yang mana yang biasa dengar about NIMP? Pernah dengar tak? Ke tak pernah? Tak pernah Honest ni, honest answer, tak pernah. KPT, Raymond, pernah dengar? Yeah, you came to see me, I think about a couple of years back. That's 2 years ago kot. Alright, so I think NIMP is a policy introduced by the government by MITI lah in September 2023. So bawah ekonomi madani, so the one driving ekonomi madani for manufacturing sector is NIMP. The other major policy is NETR, the Energy Transition Roadmap. So we coexist, and we have big targets for industrial transformation. And we are embedding NIMP pillars and principles in all sub-sector policies, in talent development, in RDCI, everything. If you are within the sectors, it has to be aligned with NIMP. In fact, JSSEZ, I was also part of the negotiating team where we ring-fence activities in JSSEZ. Kalau manufacturing mesti kena align dengan NIMP. So that's how important NIMP is. So if you want to do research in any manufacturing activities or sector, so for those industries out here, we hope you can actually align your research work to fit in industrial needs within the NIP sectors. We have, I think you ada 4 sub-sector that you are targeting under URIIS for this southern region. Aerospace kan, aerospace, advanced chemical, semiconductor and bio, agri-bio kot. So we have actually pulled out the areas, R&D areas for all these sub-sectors within NIMP. So if possible, if you want to do RDCI, please try as much as possible, do it within the selected sub-sectors and activities within that lah. Oh, by the way, I also have with me Encik Zakwan, that's my team, NIMP team. So TS Amin lah. So after this, if you have any questions, they can also help answer. Alright, so I think I don't know how much time I have. I try to be quick. So next one, please. Lagi. Okay, so I just want to share with you. So in the past, we have actually introduced 3 industrial master plans. So, kenapa lari dia punya ni? Anyway, so despite 3 industrial plans, we saw the challenges remain unresolved. Number 1 is economic complexity. I think this is where the RDCI plays an important part. We are climbing very slowly and very marginally, whereas all the other, in fact, the ASEAN countries, they are actually climbing up faster than us. And then the other one is productivity. Productivity, in fact, some of the like other ASEAN countries are also higher than us. So the reality check is, after 3 industrial master plan, we need to actually take a different approach. Hence the reason why we introduced Industrial Master Plan 2020, and we called it the new NIMP. We took a mission-based approach for industrial transformation. So the top line numbers will be our current manufacturing sector. We are 24-25% contribution to GDP, 85% to export, and about 17% to total employment. So that we are very significant. Manufacturing sector is very significant, and we have to maintain the position, and we have to actually move up very fast and do a drastic change so that we are not left behind from our other neighboring countries. Next one. Okay, this is NIMP. So we took a mission-based approach. There are 4 missions, and then we go nationwide industrialization. We embed ESG as a key principle, and then we also introduce new types of financing. I have a slide on that later on. So next one. So ni sector coverage. So these are the priority sectors. So I think you have ni lah yang dekat you punya URIIS Johor kan, aerospace, E&E. I think you also have food processing, chemical. So these are the priority sectors. So the priority sectors, they were chosen based on their contribution to GDP, employment opportunities, and also the level of economic complexity and also the advancement in technology in those sub-sectors lah. Okay, and we also have 4 new sectors, growth sectors, CCUS, EV, advanced material, and also renewable energy. So any of those activities yang within this priority sector and new growth sector, for the funding, you have a special rate and also special ratio. That shows that we see the potential and also greater opportunities within the priority sector and also the new growth sectors. Okay, next one. Okay, so ni RDCI. I think I did mention in my speech just now. So these are the 4 mission, advancing economic complexity. So the 21 sectors tadi tu, plus the 4 new growth sectors. So if you are doing economic activities or manufacturing activities, you align dengan all these 4 mission or any of the 4 mission, then you are considered yourself as at investment or economic activities or manufacturing activities that are aligned with NIMP. Kalau you buat tak ikut the mission ni, you can still do your business lah, tapi you tak dapat lah the incentive ke or the funding opportunities ke bawah NIMP. So we are actually gearing up all the economic, the manufacturing activities to be aligned with all the 4 missions. So RDCI is really an important action plan bawah NIMP. So I think if you can really zoom down into what we actually hope to get under this, and the collaboration within the URIIS program that you have, I think can really support our work here and also help us achieve our KPI target lah. Alright, so the rest ni kalau you nak tanya, you can also ask me later on or even my team. The next one. So these are the top 9 targets. So I mentioned about the GDP, employment and also the median salary. Next one. Okay, so this is where we are right now. So this is the full number for 2025. GDP kita short sikit lah. By right we should be achieving about 401 billion GDP in 2025. So we achieved 399. Employment we increased, and then what's important is median salary. So we actually started with 1976 in 2021 as baseline, and we have achieved about 2,500. So salary ni is an important indicator, especially within the JSSZ area. We actually want to bring the activities over here in Johor and bring back the talent from seberang lah. So I think that's why the selected sectors for URIIS in southern region actually align with what we hope, because those will be activities and providing employment opportunities in the high-end sectors and also high-skilled jobs for the people here in Johor. Okay, next one. Okay, ini charter. So this is what we hope under Action Plan 141 tu, foster RDCI. So this is the how. I mean, this is like what we hope when we did NIMP. This is what we penned out and what we hope the academician, the universities and also the industry will do. I think this is like deliverables, the specific RD topics and academia industry partnership programs. This is what URIIS is all about lah. Basically, Prof, so you all semua yang owner of URIIS ni, what you are doing is actually what we hope you would do. So I think there's a great partnership here on how you can actually be part of NIMP. And in fact, I think we can also help to formulate some of the programs for you. And you can also start to, you can use this as you punya promotional punya ni lah, how you are aligned with national policy and how you are aligned with NIMP. So under Action Plan 141. Okay, next one. Okay, so ni kita ada KPI. So we hope to achieve 20 penyaluran and then lepas tu KPI research, academia industry research collaboration. So we have achieved 7 thus far. So ni adalah universiti ni, tak tahu ada ke kat sini ke tidak, but ni maybe Amin boleh later on can explain. But this is what we have captured so far. So we are about 13 from the total of 20 within 2030. So I'm sure the URIIS, tadi Prof, you did mention about 2 year. So you hope after 2 years, I think boleh cepat sikit tak? Sebab if 2 years after your URIIS is 2028 and NIMP is expiring in 2030. So nanti tak cukup masa kan. And then I think you did also mention about you talk to industry. So industry hope to get the outcome of the research in 2-3 months, but then your research university minimum 1 year or even 5 years. That's just too late. And I think the industry, that's why I think I also did mention in my speech, we also try to reduce dependence on imports of technology and also the research and innovation. These are all coming. We have to import because university kita tak mampu nak support with that technology. So how do you actually expedite the time lah from lab to commercialization? If funding is the issue, we can support the industry with the funding. So I think we are providing that good ecosystem with all the enablers to support industry as well as academia to achieve this NIP target of 20 collaboration with universities. Okay, next one. Okay, so ni yang tadi subsector. So I think we chose this based on the sectors that we have identified by IRDA and also by URIIS Southern Region. So we have this 21 sector tadi tu, we have a sectoral book where we outline what will be the activities and what are the areas lah. So Zakwan did this, so he actually plugged all the RDCI component in each of the sectors. So we can share with you the slide, so you don't have to like macam nak hafal ke. So the next one will be on, next slide, aerospace, and then the next one will be chemical. Next slide please. Next slide. Bukan, before that. We have 4, ada 4 kan Zakwan? I think we have the 4 aerospace. Lagi? Tak ada? So I think we did 4. Never mind, I think we can pull back the slides. Zakwan kan? Ada? I think we did have all the E&E, food processing. Okay, tak apa. Maybe I've actually taken it out. We'll give you back the 4 sectors. So we actually plugged out the R&D in all those 4 sectors. Alright, next one. Okay, this is the funding part. So NIMP, every year budget, you will hear PM making the announcement. So for this year, we have 380 million under NIMP. So 180 million is under NIDF. NIDF ni is how we fund agencies. And COSIF is what we co-invest in companies yang apply to raise fund for their projects and activities at the capital market. So we co-fund them in their projects. So this is 200 million this year, NIDF 180 million. So these are the areas for NIDF. So far agency yang dah dapat funding for NIDF, SIRIM, MDAG, MPC, we tried actually to have agencies beyond MITI, contoh macam Universty ke, tapi tak ada yang sangkut lah, because I think we cannot see the commercial viability and also the readiness of that technology to be deployed into the industry. So we have a strict process to identify the NIDF to fund agencies for RDCI punya activities. Okay, next one. Okay, I want to focus on COSIF. COSIF is like I said, we have a fund where we MITI co-invest, and then we get the return, and then the money is plowed back into the fund. So fund to rolling. So for now, setakat ni, I think we have co-funded about 50 million worth of projects. In the pipeline, I think we'll reach about 100 over million by end of the year. And the fund, and then whatever dividend that they raise from the capital market, and then is plowed back into our fund. So it's a growing fund. So yang ini qualifying criteria dia. Next one. Next one. Sector coverage sama, cuma dia punya ratio berbeza. Next one. Alright. Okay, so ni company criteria COSIF hanya untuk SMEs dan MTC. So industry players over here, you all SMEs or MSME? Yang ada tadi yang angkat tangan, industri, syarikat tu, SMEs, so you qualify. Sebab dia, as long as you're SMEs or MTC, you qualify. Micro, tak dapat lah, because micro, I think you're too small to do these kind of activities. So if you are SMEs, you can actually qualify for that, and then if you are in manufacturing sector, if you have ML, then you can apply for COSIF. And then if you are a services company, and then MIDA will have a certain criteria or documentation to support your, sebab kalau services dia tak ada manufacturing license, but they have different types of documents that can support your existence. And then the next one. Okay, so as long as your project, kalau you nak buat RDCI, So if you have university lah, katalah UTHM, so you are doing a research with one company lah. So company A wants to do a research, perhaps improving their productivity in certain areas, so they want to do RDCI and then innovation in their process. So they talk to UTHM lah. Then UTHM kata, okay, I will do research for you ini, and then the company A tadi tu kata, okay, I need 3 million to do that research with UTHM. So you can raise that 3 million dekat sini. Yes. So COSIF, so the 3 million, katalah the sector maybe, katalah aerospace. So aerospace, okay, next one. Okay, aerospace, you get a 1-to-1 fund matching. So katalah tadi tu you need the 3 million to do the R&D. So 3 million, by right, you raise dekat capital market 1.5 million. So you raise that 1.5 million, we'll give you the 1.5 million. So maximum is 20 million lah. So tadi tu we are giving, or we are co-funding the project for 1.5 million. But if your project is about 40 million worth of that research or something lah, or even expansion of you punya manufacturing activities, so you need 40 million. So you raise at capital market 20 million, so we match you 20 million. So that's how it works. So that's the co-funding ratio. And for the new growth sector is also 1-to-1. And then this is something special for JSSEZ, and also for JSSEZ, we still have the same one. But for smart factory recognition, this is how we transform industry kilang lah to become smart factories. So for smart factory recognition program, or if you do the tech up program, you will also get 1-to-1 regardless of sector. So tadi tu ada 5 prioritas sector, 4 new growth sector. Tapi if you do smart factory, you are transforming your factory to become smarter, digitalize your production process, remove your foreign workers, do automation, do system integration. So regardless, katalah you are in food and beverage sector, so that is 1-to-2 ratio. Tapi because you do digitalization and automation, you also qualify for 1-to-1 ratio, regardless of sector. So that's how we hope to transform the process from manual to automation. So you textile ke, you rubber ke, you wood ke, you still get 1-to-1, and maximum of 20 million if you want to transform your factory to become smart factory. Okay, so next one. So ni the remaining lah. So maximum 10 million kalau you the rest of the sector. Tapi kalau you transform into smart factory, you still get the 1-to-1 and 20 million. So that's how important we try to really emphasize the importance of transforming your process from manual to digital. Okay, next one. Okay, so this is my last slide. So last year in Singapore, when we did the second joint investment forum, our then minister Wabi Tengku Zafrul announced COSIF as the preferred kind of financing support lah for companies that want to invest and also to expand in JSSEZ area. So I think IRDA and also IMFCJ have been doing quite a very good job to actually help promote NIMP and also aligning those investments align with NIMP lah. And also if they want to do funding, and then we try to match them with JSSEZ. So I think my key takeaway here, and also the key takeaway from my session, and also my message to everyone is, since you have industry as well as academia, I think the purpose of URIIS is to find, talk about what is the industry problem, what's the problem statement that you have in your company, and then try to match that with industry's academia readiness to actually help support that R&D activity. And then perhaps you would want to see what is the amount that you need. Can. And then lepas if you need that funding, and then maybe IMFCJ or IRDA can actually channel you to COSIF if you need the funding. And then MIDA will take it up lah, and then IRDA will also take it up. I also would like to throw a challenge to the organizer of URIIS later on, because yours is pre-university research, innovation and investment dialogue. So give yourself a target. So after URIIS 2026 ni, berapa investment target you nak? Then you would actually all your series tu, so you dah buat ni siri 3 kan, so siri 1, siri 2 and now siri 3. So if you did not manage to get that targeted investment from siri 1, siri 2, so at least from siri 3 here, now that we are here, we hope you can actually help us identify what is the right R&D area based on the 4 sectors, and then which university is ready to help support the industry needs, and then what's the quantum or the amount that you require, so that you can have an investment target at the end of URIIS 2026. So you nak jumpa PM pun you boleh, and then dalam tadi nampak minister, ada minister MITI kan. So I think we also want to tell our minister, from this program, URIIS program, you hope to achieve perhaps 350 million investment target in RDCI. And from that 350 million contoh investment target tu, how much will that come from KOSIF? So that's what at least we and IMP would want to capture. So boleh Prof Sam, kalau you boleh ada investment target tu, that will be something yang nampak tangible. And then also the 20 RDCI collaboration tu, if you can also help us with that, how much will you produce at the end of your URIIS 2026? And then also whether you can do that within 1 year or not more than 2 years. The 2 years for hand holding tu lama sangat Prof, kena cepat sikit. Alright, so I think I'm done. So this is the last of my slide. So we are here until the end of the session. Any of the FGD, I also have my team members here to help support you with further information. Thank you.
Thank you to Ms. Adrina for the enlightening session. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the research and innovation opportunity in JSSEZ presented by Iskandar Regional Development Authority. So please welcome Mr. Ahmad Murad Mat Hanafiah, Vice President of Sector and Enabler Development, the speaker.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Tadi Prof Sam ada tanya saya, gambar ni original ataupun tak? I just want to make a clear statement today. This is not AI generated. This is the proof that I pernah kacak dulu. Okay, before we start the session, I would like to thank MOHE, UPM for inviting IRDA to be one of the strategic partners in organizing URIIS 2026 Series 3 in Johor. And next slide. I would like to take these opportunities to introduce ourselves, because we are not very popular like MITI and the University in this hall. And I believe that some of you here is not from Johor, and maybe you are not very familiar with Iskandar, Malaysia. Actually, I'm from IRDA, Iskandar Regional Development Authority. Okay, next. Okay, if you are very familiar about economic corridor, in total in Malaysia we have 5 economic corridor. We have NCER, NCIA, and IRDA, Iskandar Malaysia in Peninsula, and we have Rikoda and Sedia in Sabah and Sarawak. So in total we have 5. And we are the first one. We are the Abang Sulong. And for information, yesterday we just celebrating our 20th anniversary at the first economic corridor in Malaysia. We was established in 2006, and our area is about 2,200 kilometers square. And I need to inform you that we are 3 times bigger than Singapore. Right? And our role is more on the plan, promote and facilitate the development of Iskandar, Malaysia as a key economic corridor in Johor, meaning that we need to attract domestic and foreign investment to come and invest in our corridor. Okay, next. Rewind sikit. Next. Okay. I think okay, next. Alright, dia tertukar. Okay, the previous presenter talking about GSSCZ. So, my duty here is to brief more about GSSCZ. Actually, Johor is very lucky because we are residing to our neighbor, advanced country, Singapore. And actually, we have a special avenue to discuss neighborhood matters with Singapore. We call it as a Johor-Singapore Cooperation Ministerial Committee, JSCMC, to discuss the matter in terms of economic, in terms of movement of people and goods, in terms of custom, immigration. So, during that discussion, we can see that we have opportunities or we need to complement each other. As you know that Singapore is a very advanced country, so they have capital, they have technology, and so many international companies doing business there. But they have challenges in terms of land size, so those companies have challenges to expand the business there. And for Johor, we have abundance of lands, we have talents. So we have so many universities in Malaysia or in Johor that produce our graduates every year, which can fit with the investor need. So we working together and we propose to have Johor Singapore Special Economic Zone or GSSCZ. This is an evolution of Iskandar, Malaysia. And as you can see in the map, they have 9 flagships in the zone. So the 9 flagships are tailored with the location in our zone. So as you can see that for flagship A and B, which is in Johor Bahru and Iskandar Puteri area, is purposely for the global services hub. And then C, Smart Logistic Company in Tanjung Pelepas. And then for D, Tanjung Lansat and Kong Kong. This one focusing on the manufacturing and downstream specialty chemicals. And then for E, of course, in Senai for the aerospace. F in Kulai Sedenak, this one more on the data center. And then for Desaru, integrated tourism project. And then H, PIPC or Pengerang Integrated Petroleum Chemical. And the latest one, I, Forest City. This is a special financial zone in Forest City. Okay, next. Alright, focus area of collaboration. Of course, when we want to collaborate with Singapore, we need to have a focus area of collaboration because we can't collaborate in so many areas. We need to focus because this is a special financial economic zone. And first, we have economic cooperation. As you can see that under economic cooperation, we're focusing on the 11 focus sector. And the first 5 sector, 11 promoted sector, and first 5 sector is our focus sector, which is that we believe that this 5 sector is a sector that can gain impact to our economic in Johor. High growth, high value sector. And if you notice that the sector that we want to discuss in URIIS today is tailored or similar with our sector. For example, you have aerospace which fall under logistic, and then agri-tech and biotech which fall under food security, and chemical and INAE which fall under manufacturing. Okay, next. Second, movement of people and goods. This is the matters that we discuss with Singapore to ensure that we can increase clearance capacity and reducing border crossing time. Because we know that our causeway is one of the busiest land cross-border in the world. And sometimes you can stuck there for the 3 to 4 hours. Right? But the distance is only 3 kilometers. So some of the initiative that come out from the discussion is on the cross-border QR code clearance, which is when we want to go to Singapore, no need to use a passport, you just scan QR code, which is can fasten the movement of people. And then we have the mega project, RTS link. So for Johorian, you notice that now RTS link is in construction progress and will be completed by December 2026. So this is one of the initiatives that we can reduce the border crossing time. And you can see that from the information that I have, 10,000 passengers per hour can move from Singapore to Johor. And then the third one is on the next. The third one is on the talent development. So yesterday when we had a dinner with MOHE and MITI, we are discussing about talent because Johor is very unique. So we did a lot of things to increase capability of our talent. But at the end of the day, some of the talent fly the bridge because due to 3-time factor. And sometimes you can go to Singapore, work as a pencuci pinggan, you can get 6,000 ringgit. So how we want to retain our talent here? So the government very serious to ensure that our talent reside and work in Johor. So our government established a Johor Talent Development Council or JTDC. In JTDC we have 11 government department and 21 agency. And I believe that UTM, UTHM or UITM, you are one part of the council to discuss, to address the skill gap, foster upskilling opportunities and prepare workforce for GSSCZ. Okay, next. Number 4 is ease of doing business. Because for the investor, when they want to come here, ease of doing business is one of the critical factors for them. They don't want to have a red tape, they want to fasten the process. And then to ensure that they have a good experience in our region, we established Invest Malaysia Facilitation Center Johor. Is like a one-stop center for investor. For those who want to invest, they come to IMFCJ. Because in IMFCJ we have 10 federal ministry and 18 state agency working together to ensure that they can fasten the process of the investment, which is we can reduce from 20 months to 14 months the investment process here. And then for IMFCJ, we have a 3 principal coordinator, which is we have IRDA, we have Invest Johor, and we have MIDA. Okay, next. This is some of the information that I can share about the potential opportunities. As you know that last year Johor recorded 110 billion and 70% came from GSSCZ. And up to March 2026, we received 170 inquiries, which is from 2025 to March 2026, the potential investment value that we can grab from this GSSCZ is about 73 billion. Okay, next. Okay, why investment value is very important? Because if you notice that MIDA has launched a new incentive framework for manufacturing. I hope you know about this, and it's very important for the manufacturer. And For the investor who want to come and enjoy our incentive, they need to fulfill the scorecard under NIF. And under NIF, they have a 6 pillar. And if you notice that pillar number 3 is extend domestic leakage. And the indicators in the NIA scorecard for the extend domestic linkage is a collaboration with local academia and industry. I think this is a game changer for URIIS today. And I'm sure that you will getting very busy after this, because for the investor who want to come in and enjoy the incentive, they will find the local university to work with you. And if you can see that at the right hand side, the collaboration with local academia and industry, this is extracted from the MIDA website. No need to take picture. You can get the information from MIDA. Just take my photo only lah. No need to take the picture. Prof Sam. And type of collaboration, you have education, partnership, academy, industry to support learning program, and then R&D, research and innovation. And the thing that we are doing today. And then commercialization, I think this is what university love to do, translate the R&D into the marketable and product, service, license, commercial exploitation, staff professional development, and technology transfer office. Meaning that investor need to work with our local U in these 5 areas for them to enjoy our incentive. I think this is a very good initiative by our government to ensure that the investment that come here is not investment per se, is more on the ecosystem investment. And when the investor come, they will build the ecosystem based on the 6 NIA pillars that we have here. All right, next. Okay, next. All right. We did a short survey to our investor and local SME. And what investors say that the main factor that preventing them to choose our local SME is about a limited technology and capability facing by our SME. That one point. And then for the local SME, they still have challenges in capability and capacity in terms of the automation and digitalization. Only 28.8% of SME have adopted digital technology innovation in the business. So for the investor in this room, for the SME, this is an opportunity for you to shortcut. Because we have a university that can offer so many things to you. Because sometimes when we meet industry or SME, they still think that university is for the institution that can produce a graduate only. It's not. They can offer so many things. They have expertise, they have an infrastructure, they have a student, they have an intern. They can help you in your business. No need to have your own lab at your factory, because some of the manufacturers, they have their own lab. They need to employ chemists. He pay 8,000 per month. Own lab, own equipment to do R&D. No need, because we have a university here. Use them. Use them today. Okay, next. For IRDA, as a strategic partner, we are one stop here. We will continue to support university to become your facilitator or your marketing arm or promoter. We offer ourselves to promote university to our investor or industry that we meet during our engagement in developing our economic region. And then next. All right. This is one of the, I can say, success factor. Success story about academia and industry collaboration in Johor. So I met this guy, Daryl. Daryl, where are you, Daryl? You bagi video ni, you tak datang. Daryl is from Susfarm, Sendian Berhad. So this company involved in agri-tech and biotech. I think we have a short video here. So boleh tak tolong tekankan apa tu ni? The short video. UTM Professor meet interns. Boleh tak? Terus halau. Belum lagi. Belum.
Nama saya J. Suman Puspanaden. Saya dari Fakulti Kejuruteraan Elektrik. Kami membuat inovasi produk neon komite. Neon komite ni maksudnya neon
Saya
ni
rasa ni
lampu.
video lain Bukan. Dekat slide tu ada video. Okey. Bukan. Ni. Jangan sabar tau. Macam mana background dia lagu disco. Saya rasa background lagu dia bukan disco kat Pantai Kuta Bali. Siapa yang tukar ni? Korang ni prank betul lah. Ini UTM visit korang buat. Okay, this company, they got assistance from UTM, UPM and UIA in transforming their business from conventional agri-business to agri-tech. And this is some of the example that we have from Johor. And last time I went to launching of Center of Excellence, Princeton Digital Group investor from Singapore data center, and they mentioned they have a collaboration with UTM as well. So I think academic research collaboration is not a new thing for us in Johor, but how matter we want to enhance to ensure that the spillover from university, so everybody can feel the spillover from university, and in terms of R&D, in terms of innovation. Okay, next. So this is my last slide. So we believe that demand-driven strategy flow is very crucial for the academic industry collaboration, and URIIS is I think it's a kickstart for us, for URIIS, to discuss about industry need, to discuss about problem statement compilation, and to ensure that we can facilitate the needs of industry and investor. I think that's all. Thank you from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much to Mr. Ahmad Murad for the insightful presentation just now. So, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for a special research collaboration montage featuring collaboration between UTM and industry, and as well as UTHM and industry. Enjoy the presentation.
Nama saya J. Suman Puspanaden. Saya dari Fakulti Kejuruteraan Elektrik. Kami membuat inovasi produk neon komite. Neon komite ni maksudnya neon ni lampu. Komite ni maknanya adalah acara perlawanan dalam karate. Dan produk ni adalah khusus untuk komuniti sukan orang pekak. Ya, jadi dan produk ini juga telah digunakan dalam Second World Deaf Karate Championship yang telah berlangsung di Malaysia tahun lepas. Jadi produk ini sebenarnya dia adalah berkonsepkan lampu menggantikan bunyi kerana orang pekak tidak dapat dengar. Jadi bila tidak dapat dengar, banyak cabaran akan berlaku semasa pertandingan berlangsung, terutamanya perlawanan antara dua pihak. Jadi alat ini telah membuat inovasi dan perubahan kepada peraturan-peraturan karate yang sedia ada untuk disesuaikan dengan orang pekak menggunakan lampu isyarat. Jadi di sini inovasinya, produk ini telah pun dikomersialise dan telah endorse dan diguna dalam pertandingan Second World Deaf Karate Championship pada tahun lepas. Dan yang kami banggakan adalah produk ini adalah hasil daripada projek FYP from scratch, from class to market.
Di bawah hutan rekreasi Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, tersembunyi satu sumber yang tidak kelihatan, tetapi menentukan masa depan air kita.
kita perlulah mempunyai satu daya ketahanan, terutama sekali air yang menjadi keperluan bagi warga kampus. Kadang-kala terdapat beberapa gangguan bekalan yang menyebabkan kepayahan dan juga kesulitan kepada warga kampus. Apabila kajian awal itu dilaksanakan, kita mendapati bahawa bumi UTM ni unik kerana sejenis batuan yang jarang-jarang dijumpai di dalam dunia, iaitu batu gabro, cabaran yang utama, di mana hendak meletakkan lubang gerudi yang 10 inci itu, dan juga pada kedalaman berapa yang harus kita korek. Di dalam batu pejal, kita tidak semestinya menjumpai air kerana batu pejal tidak menyimpan air ataupun mengalirkan air. Daripada itu, kita telah pun bersama dengan beberapa disiplin ilmu yang lain, geologi, geofizik, geometrik, dan di situlah kita telah pun memilih lokasi ini, dan melalui satu korekan sahaja kita telah pun berjaya, alhamdulillah, mendapat sumber air yang cukup banyak, sentiasa keluar dan tidak berhenti.
UTM mencipta sejarah sebagai universiti pertama di Malaysia yang membangunkan dan mengoperasikan rock aquifer tube well di dalam kampusnya. Aquifer ini mampu menghasilkan sehingga 1 juta liter air sehari. Ini bukan eksperimen, ini penyelesaian sebenar.
1 juta liter sehari bukanlah jumlah yang kecil, dan ini merupakan satu daripada rezeki kepada warga kampus UTM.
Dalam dunia yang semakin tidak menentu, keselamatan air bukan lagi pilihan. UTM memilih untuk bertindak.
Jadi dengan bentuk muka bumi dan juga landscape yang sungguh indah ini, sebenarnya UTM memanglah sebuah bumi yang sangat bertuah, boleh dimanfaatkan oleh semua warga UTM.
Daripada penyelidikan kepada realiti, UTM membuktikan bahawa sebuah universiti mampu memimpin melalui contoh.
Kami sebenarnya inspired daripada bila kita pergi kepada tempat-tempat yang mengalami masalah bencana kan. Contohnya banjir lah. Bila ada masalah banjir, airnya banyak. Tapi dalam masa yang sama, population di sekitar yang mengalami masalah bencana alam ini tidak mempunyai akses kepada air bersih. Memang ada setengah-setengah pihak untuk menghantar air bersih ini perlukan transport yang besar, dan kemudiannya teknologi tersebut memberikan electricity. Jadi ada setengah tempat yang mengalami masalah bencana ini tidak boleh diakses oleh beberapa kenderaan, ataupun ada juga mengalami masalah bekalan elektrik. Jadi tidak solve juga isu untuk akses kepada air bersih. That's why kita menghasilkan satu produk yang mana tidak memerlukan tenaga elektrik, dan dia sangat compact lah, sebesar ini sahaja, dan ringan, boleh masuk dalam poket semua, boleh bawa ke mana-mana, dan kita boleh gunakan contohnya masalah bencana alam, maupun kalau kita pergi kepada hiking ke contohnya kan,
untuk situasi emergency kan, ketiadaan air, contohnya untuk kita filter out ataupun kita menyingkirkan bakteria bawaan penyakit yang berbahaya. Jadi dia boleh menjadi, orang kata macam satu first line of defense bagi kita lah.
Filter ni Jernih 2.0 adalah produk komersial yang mana proses penghasilan produk komersial perlu melalui daripada awal sehingga prototype dan juga pengujian di persekitaran yang sebenar. Jadi membrane tersebut diformulasi daripada bahan asas, polimer, daripada pelarut dan juga bahan tambah. Seterusnya kita buat dalam bentuk membrane keronggang dan kita masukkan di dalam modul, dan kita uji di peringkat makmal. Seterusnya kita akan bawa keadaan persekitaran di luar ke dalam makmal. Seterusnya akan kena uji performance ataupun keberkesanan produk ini boleh survive tak dalam makmal dulu. Selepas berpuas hati dengan hasil filtration, baru kita akan apply pada peringkat persekitaran yang lebih mencabar.
Banyak perancangan kami, harapan tu sangat besar. Kita of course lah dari segi efisiensi
jernih H2O ni. Sebenarnya kalau yang produk sekarang kalau dibawa ke tepi pantai tak boleh nak sedut air laut tu disebabkan oleh jenis membran yang kita pakai di dalam jernih H2O ni. Mungkin ada sedikit formulasi yang kita akan tambah baik dan supaya dia dapat lebih berkesan lah untuk memisahkan bukan sekadar benda-benda terampai tetapi juga yang ions ke macam daripada salt punya ni kan, air daripada air laut contohnya kan, yang tak boleh kita consume lah. Kalau dilihat dari segi tahap commercialization ataupun penjualan tu, kalau boleh kami memang ingin meningkatkan lagi lah pendapatan syarikat melalui jernih H2O.
Kita ini adalah projek kolaborasi antara UTHM dan juga TAC. So, nama projek ini adalah Development of New P50T Practice Bomb for Sukhoi 30 MKM application. Projek ini adalah untuk kita reverse engineering balik practice bomb yang dihasilkan oleh Rusia, yang mana kita ada membuat sedikit penambahbaikan dalam komponen dalaman dia dan melibatkan komponen-komponen daripada pemasangan tempatan lah. So proses ini melibatkan beberapa stage, yang mana stage yang sudah selesai adalah reverse engineering dan sekarang ni kita dalam proses untuk buat simulation dan juga finalization in term of internal mechanism design.
So kita perlu buat simulation dan daripada data-data tu barulah kita boleh design yang kita kata one to one dengan yang asal. Kita akan manufacture bersama dengan ATAC, our collaborator, untuk kita bekalkan kepada pihak Air Force untuk tujuan training untuk Sukhoi.
So overall this project sebenarnya salah satunya adalah untuk bagi memperjematan kos lah. Okay, pembelian bom ni melalui Rusia adalah menganggarkan dalam 30 ke 50 ribu. So a bit expensive. So melalui kaedah reverse engineering ni local made, so kita dapat mengurangkan kosnya kepada dalam 10 ke 20 ribu lah. So dia adalah salah satu langkah penjimatan lah.
Thank you so much for the videos from UTM and as well as UTHM. So ladies and gentlemen, we now invite Professor Technologist Dr. Rabiah, Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation, University Tun Hussein on Malaysia, to deliver on presentation on the winning collaboration between university and industry. Please welcome Prof. Rabiah to the stage. Microphone. Prof, microphone.
Miss Adrina Riza Alwi, Senior Director Delivery Management Unit, Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, MITI. Welcome back to Johor. Tadi Puan memaklumkan dari Johor, jadi kalau begitu dia kapal dagang dari seberang bawa muatan kayu meranti dari jauh. Puan balik ke Johor, ke kami UTM, UTHM, UPM sabar menanti. Prof. Dr. Samsul Bahari, because of kami tuan rumah jadi kita kena address. Prof. Dr. Samsul Bahari bin Muhammad Tamrin, Deputy Vice Chancellor Industry and Community Engagement, Universiti Putra. Yang Mulia Raja Taufik Azad bin Ahmad Suhaimi, Head of Sector Enabler Development, Iskandar Regional Development Authority, IRDA. Prof. Zahil Adra, my hakiki boss, Deputy Vice Chancellor Universiti Teknikal Malaysia Melaka. TS Dr. Muhammad Iqbal bin Ahmad, Director Agrotech. Profesor Madya, IS TS Dr. Dalila, UTM. PM Dr. Sudesh, UPM. Mr. Raymond, alamak dah balik. Okay. And all the way from UPM, berikan tepukan Profesor Samsila, ITMA, mewakili ITMA. And all rakan industri. So, someone told me that I only have less than 10 minutes. So I just want to briefly introduce UTHM, and also because we already watched the video just now. So it's just how actually UTHM we together how do we set our mindset that we need to do research for the impact of community and industry. So based from next slide please. I skip this one. Okay, UTHM, the way that UTHM, we set our mind to be Global Technopreneur University at 2030. Why Technopreneur University? Because we are part of Technical University Malaysia, MTON, and MTON, one thing about the main formula of MTON, we need to have industry to do research. Okay, so that's why to set our mind to be Technopreneur University, so everything that we do, we have to make sure that it is give big impact to the community and the industry. We need to make sure that everyone have the benefit from the activities of research, innovations, commercializations, or even teaching and learning. So that's why we put, the most important thing is, we have to put collaborations, coordinated communication is the main what we call it, the main enabler to be GTU 2030. So what do we have here? We have aspirations, of course, the transformation strategies, and also the transformation plan. But I don't want to go into detail on this, but dia punya mantra ni every day from top management, the chairman of the LPU, the LPU members, VCs, DVCs, everyone, we have to talk the mantra of GTU 2030. And then, of course, if you want to start something, we have to make sure that whatever the solution that we develop, we have to make sure that it is give the big impact to the, of course, the first one, UTHM itself. The second one, the community in Batu Pahat. So that's why kita ada dapur rakyat. We do have dapur rakyat. Just now tak ada mention dalam ni. And then the technology, because of our niche, transportations and sustainable technology, so rail and aerospace. So itu makanan kami lah di UTHM. Kalau orang cakap rail, pendekar rail ada, tapi ada yang di Paguh, ada yang ada di sini, ada yang online. And then the pilots, the drone team, I think outside, some will be inside this room, ada yang di luar. Okay, so next. Yang ni tak apa, kita skip, next. Okay, this is actually the plan, bukan the plan. Ada yang the existing plan, ada yang memang we already, we plan to have that. For example, we do have this Tanjung Labu campus. That one is basically the first airport yang ada for university. So di situ the focus is more on the aerospace research, research and innovations, the MRO and etc. And then we already have started the halal UTHM at Uzbekistan. So that is for the global ni lah. And then Institute for Biodiversity, we already have that such a long time under Center of Research, but we upgraded. We are now upgrading to become Institute of Biodiversity, and one of our living lab, the Aitamwa, Aitamwa, I think that one you should go one because it is setakat ni lah. I think all over the world lah. Kita dah ada pelancong daripada, bukan pelancong, saintis daripada Canada Zoo, Legoland UK, and China, Korean students, what's not. Their focus on that particular area is basically to find out, we are able to discover this ikan laga, the smallest ikan laga, and then I think Legoland UK and Legoland Malaysia give us some budget to make sure that we can save the ikan laga. You know, the name is quite a long name, so we can ask Dr. Prof. Yang inilah saintis. The name tu kan saya memang tak boleh ingat. And then that one of the example. And for living lab, that's what we aim for world class living lab. And of course kita ada semiconductor people here. Semiconductor, we work closely with Johor, and we are going to have this PAGO TVET, PAGO Advanced TVET and Techno Science Park, insyaAllah, yang kita plan lah. And of course our every year program Rise at UTHM. For this year, kita bercadang for FOI, Festival of Idea in Batu Pahat, tapi kita nak tukar sikit malam tadi. Batu Pahat City of Culture, to align with FOI, Festival of Idea, yang dibuat oleh KPT. And other than that, basically, of course, research must be transdisciplinary, industry oriented, and therefore we are going to have, we already have industry research playground at UTHM Parit Raja. So we have all the, we showcase our research product with industry in small area, not small, quite large area, but you can see lah, that one with Petronas and Petronas Plus and etc. And other than that, next, this is the our MOU MOA with the industry, quite more than, I think more than 300. We already signed. And then next, this is one of the examples just now. What you have watched inside the video, Professor Shahirun and teams, who are, we call it the plus guy, because most of the solutions we help, it's already established with plus, and most of the solutions be implemented for the breach, crack detection. Next. This is for ergonomic fire hose. It is also being implemented, and we already work with NIOS. Next. This one is, okay, yang ini, this is actually, as mentioned, it is for practice bomb. So we can reduce the price of the framework from 50K per 15 to 17K. So that's why it is, antara yang memang sangat dibanggakan. Next. Yang ini additive manufacturing, aerospace tools with AMIC. You can see this guy outside. Maybe you can discuss further. And the last one, Prof. Omar here. And then yang ni Doni, connection platform for mobile. Yang ni dengan Parrot Post India Berhad. Thank you very much for those yang coming here. So I think this is some of them, and we can have a lot at the university. So please, you can contact me or contact PM Dr. Farida for more details. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you to Prof. Rabia, and please remain on the stage to proceed with the next agenda. So if anyone, if you need more information from Prof. Rabia, so Prof. Rabia can be reached via email rabia@uthm.edu.my. Again, I repeat, Rabia, RABIAH at uthm.edu.my. So ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to present a token of appreciation to our distinguished guest, Miss Adrina Reza Alwi. So please, may I invite Miss Adrina Reza Alwi to the stage to receive a token of appreciation. Okay, thank you very much, and please have a seat, Prof. Rabia and Miss Adrina to have a seat. And I would like to invite all the guest speakers are requested to gather in the middle of the hall. So everyone who are from here and from there, please gather in the middle of the hall. Be centered, okay, and squeeze a bit in the middle so that the cameraman will shoot from the stage. So now we are going to have a photo shoot session. Please help yourself to be in the middle of the hall. It's good to be near to the VIPs. So stand up and just be behind, stand up behind of the VIPs. Cameraman ready? Okay. So everyone please give a big smile to the cameraman. We need a big smile. Thumbs up please. Okay. Thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, we will now adjourn for a coffee break. But before that, allow me to announce the venue for each focus group discussion. Okay, so covering for advanced chemical material and advanced electric and electronic, it will be here in this main hall, whereby agri-tech and food biotech is on the right side of the hall. Aerospace on the left-hand side of the hall, and cyber resilient will resume via online. So participants are kindly requested to proceed with your respected discussion area. Kindly return to the hall by 10:55 a.m. as the program will resume promptly at 11. Thank you very much.